Well, howdy folks. How's everybody doing? Hope everybody's doing great. What we got here is a Milwaukee nail gun. A friend of mine, very good friend of mine, Joe, says it doesn't work, said it needs recharged. Apparently this thing holds air. I've never worked on one of these things before, but I'll work on anything. So let's, I went ahead and took the nail holder doohickey thing off. I have no idea what size bit this is, but it's tiny, and it is a star bit with the safety hole in it, or the security hole in it. It's tiny. There's no, I don't think there's a screw down there. Doesn't feel like it. So we're going to find out what it takes to, or what's inside this thing, because I don't know. I may have to pause you here and there. I got the roaster fired up. It's Saturday afternoon, beautiful day. I've been gone a lot for my company that I work for. I've been traveling. So I am running out of content, guys. Yeah, I got the bike over there. I got the wiring harness out. That's in another video, coming up video. Actually, I've got it sitting right here in front of me. There's the wiring harness. I need to start working on that. I was going to work on that this weekend. And Joe asked me to take a look at this. He's got a blender I fixed. Well, I never reported that. He's got one of those KitchenAid blenders. Had a problem with it, so I fixed that. I should record all these things, but I don't. Oh, great. So, I don't think my tool is going to go down there deep enough. Let me see if I've got a different one that I can use. Hold on a sec. I do not. So, I'll just put this down in there and work with what I got. I'm going to need my little magnet thing, I'll tell you right now. I think Harbor Freight sells these. I need to see if they... And actually I was there today, but I knew I had this little one, but I hadn't actually put it down in the hole to make sure it would actually work. I hate buying duplicates of things that I already have. Magnetic pickup tool to pull those out of there. Wouldn't mind having one of these things, but really just ain't got a need for one right now. And besides, if I need one, I'll just borrow Joe's. I need to poke down in them holes there and see if there's anything down in there. Looks like there should be. If there is, my tool is definitely not going to fit down there. Full of mud daubers. Oh, jeez. I think there is a hole down in there. Or a screw. Let me get my air gun and blow that out. Yep. And I know that ain't going to fit down in there. Let's see. It'll fit in this one. Well, I know it ain't going to fit in the other one. Well, I say that. No crap. Okay. All right. That is definitely got to come off. There is one on this side. I don't think I have any more of these star security bits, and there's nothing I have that's going to fit down in that hole. I don't think. Hold on a sec. Alright, here's what I did. I had one of these extensions, and I just took it over to the grinder, and I ground it down so it fit down in that hole. So that worked. Now I need to, I checked, double checked, triple checked, make sure I had all the screws out, which I do. That is the control panel. I don't need that to come out. Put that right back where it belongs. Okay. Alright, so here is this canister thing, and that is what's got air in it. So I've heard. A little dirty in there. But this thing needs to come out of here. So let's get this out of here. It should just lift up right out. It looks like it. Missing something here? There's a button there, and it pushes on this little switch right here. Okay. Well, this comes out of here somehow, but it's sitting on something, or not, or it's just at the angle that it's at. Yeah, it looks like it just lifts right up out of here. And it does come off of that thing, this motor. that is the cover hole. Okay, that's a plug, and it looks like there's a Schrader valve down in there, but there ain't no way that I'm going to get anything down in there. There was a tiny bit of air in there. Okay, well, let me, I wonder, this thing will not lift up out of here. Something is holding it over here. I don't see what it is. That should, maybe that's what it's hitting. Yeah, it's hitting the other side of this cover on its way up. So that I'm going to have to figure out, because I don't want to take all this thing apart. I just want to get it off the body. There's no screws on this side. This motor looks like it's going to come off this motor, but let me just see if, let me see what kind of, I think that's I don't know if that's a 1/4 inch or what. Hold on a sec. All right. I think I'm going to go ahead and try taking that. There's Mr. Honeybee. I was going to tell you, watch me scream like a girl here. Come on, Honeybee. I seen him climb down in there right before I turned the camera on. And I thought, yeah, he's going to get me. I used to have, last year I had 2 big hives in my tree over here. I don't know anything about honeybees. They don't bother me. I like honeybees. Wasps, on the other hand, I will kill. But they had their nest, and then all of a sudden, one day, they were gone. I have no idea what happened to them. My tax lady, who is a beekeeper, says they come across something they didn't like. So they up and left. Okay, so remember how that piece goes. It slides right up under there. Now, is that going to be enough to pull this out of here? Yes, it is. Okay, so I'm going to take the motor out, leave that there. Then I'm going to unscrew this. Okay, so that rod was extended down into there. Now it's actually pushed all the way down. So, and that, I believe, only goes one way. Or maybe it goes this way. Yeah. It only goes one way. It is keyed. So if you look right there, there is a key. And if you look down inside the gun there, you can see the pin. That's where that goes down. So we're going to leave that sitting right down inside there. Now I did have to do a little research because I got to looking and that goes this way. And that feels pretty hard still. How the heck to fill this thing up? Because, well, there ain't no way you're going to get an air chuck down into there. So, come to find out, it is some sort of odd British thread. So, I did track down a part. I will put that part on in the description. You can get it on Amazon. It's really not that expensive. And this has got, does it have pressure in it? And there's a tiny bit. Make sure to remove any pressure that's in here. And then pull that out. So obviously I will clean this up. Clean down inside there. And so anyway, back to that part. I do have the part ordered. Should be here tomorrow. You know, and I'm wondering, are these supposed to be solid or in pieces? That I don't know. But can't hurt to wipe it off. I don't, from what I did gather, there is, I guess there's really no parts list, I should say, for the inside of this thing. So it looks pretty clean down in there, from what I can see. That's just a washer that comes off. Clean up around this here, and I'll put that washer back on. Just make sure we don't have no gunk on here when we go back to put it back together. Okay, that's good. Looking down there, man, there's really not much. I can clean off these threads. And sorry if I sound a bit stuffy. I am a bit stuffy. I got my once every couple year bug of some sort. So obviously I'm dying, you know, because I rarely, and I mean rarely, get sick. Alright, so anyway, that is kind of wiped off. I can re-grease that, put some, see that one's got a split. See, there's a split right there. There is one right there. The middle one does not have a split. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn these two that are opposite, turn them opposite of each other. And there we go. Cleaned up, ready to go. So let me, I'll get some more paper towels. I'm going to clean around these threads and stuff, and set that down there. You gotta remember, hey, remind me not to forget to put that back in. I don't remember if there was any particular orientation for that. I guess we're going to find out. I don't even have a battery for it. I got to get hold of Joe to, maybe I'll stop over there tomorrow and grab one of his batteries. Kind of hard to test something when you ain't got juice for it. I don't have any Milwaukee tools. So, anyway, let me wipe this down a little bit more, and I'm not going to bore you with that, and I'll bring it back, and we'll grease this thing up and put it back together. Alright, so anyway, got a little bit of grease here. Just put a little bit of grease around this. Should you grease it? Should you not grease it? I really have no clue. But I figure a little grease can't hurt. Now, one thing I was kind of pondering is this rod was down inside there, okay? Now, I wouldn't say quite all the way, but I don't know if it's going to show up. But down inside there, because I was looking at where this air hole thing is and how it puts air into here. You know, because my thinking was, well, maybe this has got to be all the way extended, you know, in order for it to fill this cavity in here with, I think it's like 150 pounds of air. But that I don't know. I mean, worst case, we do this and we have to take apart and adjust this mechanism. Now, and if you notice, now I'm pushing this down in here and it's coming right back out. So maybe, no, I don't know, man. I really just do not know. Now, what I can do is leave this like that, fill it, you know, once I get that fitting, fill it with 150 pounds of air, see what it does. You know, worst case, let the air out, push it in, and put it back together. So let's go ahead and put this in here and put this back down in here. Now that only goes down so far. So man, it's got air pressure in it now. So it's telling me that the seals are good because it's holding air. So tell you what, let's take this back out. Let's push it in some. Let the air out. And then put it back in. And that apparently only goes so far down into there. And it's not wanting to bite. Sorry, my nose is running. So why is it not biting? Maybe this thing has to be. That's pretty much all the way down. And it is keyed, so it only goes one way. Maybe I'm just overthinking it. There we go. I don't know if that's going to go all the way around. Okay, that's all the way in there. Now, put this back down in here. I want to make sure that that wire is not hitting anything. Let's put it back in the gear. Maybe that wire goes on the outside of there. Down in there, maybe. Let's see here. That just sits flat, so I guess I can put that down in there. Put those wires down in there. That's easier said than done. Okay, that is sitting down in here. Okay, so now I can turn that back up a little bit. Everything's down back in there. Nothing's hitting. These wires are up out of the way. There is a screw hole there. I just want to make sure these wires are in the right spots. It looks like maybe there is that little clippy thing. Maybe it goes down in there. Yeah. It does. I'll show you here in a sec. Kind of looks like it sits down inside that little channel. This piece, right where my finger is. Okay, the last piece we got to put back on now that we got that back in here is this front piece that I took off. To lift it out of here. That's held in place. Then we have it's just those two Allens in the front. Alright, lay it back down, get this little piece back in its home. Okay, we are all set. All I need now is the adapter to fill it, and swing by Joe's and grab one of his batteries and see if this thing works and see if we got to make any tweaks to it. And find me, a couple pieces of scrap, and gotta get some nails from Joe too, so we can make sure it fires. So bring you back here in a minute. All right, guys. I've got the piece in. This is the piece right here. That's the threaded part that goes in. It does have a Schrader valve in it. Take the top off. And there you go. So let's see. Now I got my little portable tire inflator. I've got it set to 150 pounds. And turn my light off. There we go. And let's give it a whirl. I'm curious if this is actually going to work. You would think that this thing would have a valve, or a tube that went all the way down and pushed on that one. So that doesn't look like it's filling it to me. I mean, that should be increasing. It's at 34 and it's decreasing. Something don't seem right with that. Let's take this off here. I mean, maybe, because this does not screw down any other way, and it's not deep enough to go down into there. But the question is, did it put any air into it? No. Says it's supposed to build up enough pressure to push down on the Schrader valve in there on air pressure alone. That don't make any sense. I just can't see that working. Alright, let me I don't want to do this. I mean, that's the only thing it came with. And you can't even get that Schrader valve on none of my tools. And this, as far as I know, is not meant to replace that valve. I don't know, maybe it's beats me. Yeah, no clue. I mean, it screws in there, so I know it's the right thread. Let's put a little bit of Teflon tape around it. And I have no idea what size socket that is. Maybe a 10. Not sure. Not a 10. And I know it is some kind of weird British thread, and it's not an 11, or that ain't just going to fit. Let's get a wrench. Let's see here. Got a 10 over here. I don't think I got an 11. I may just have to get an adjustable wrench and put it on it. 10 is too small. 12 is a hair too big, but it'll work. Should work. Let's see. You know what I could do? Let's get the air hose. I need to get new batteries. Well, that did it. I think. Well, that's getting air out of it. It's reading 120. And maybe my little battery one just ain't got enough oomph. I mean, I heard it. It pushed. But you can't check the pressure because there's nothing to check, because it's not actually touching that Schrader valve down there. So really, I mean, once you pump air into this thing, how the heck are you supposed to check to see if it even has any pressure? The only way I could check this now at this point is put a battery in it, put the nail thing back on it, see if it shoots a nail. So let me put everything back on it. Get my bees out of there. They keep getting it. I don't know if you can see. There's a honeybee right down inside that hole there. I need to take this off here, so let me see if it'll let me fits. Come on, go. I mean, the other thing I could do at this point is push down the Schrader valve to see if it actually has any air in it, but I got no way to test it. I guess we could try that. That bee is fascinated with that tiny little hole there. Hold on a sec. Alright guys, I did put the cover back on. Didn't want to bore you guys with that. I don't have all the screws in it yet. I've got a few in there so I can test it in case I got to take it back apart. Need to put the nail holder thingy. That goes back on. There are the 2 screws, and that just slides into place. And there are, like I said, there's 2 screws for it. There's one with a kind of a big washer on it, and there's another one with no washer on it. Well, it's kind of built-in washer. The built-in washer one goes in the front, and not particular rocket science, but I do want to go over something here in a minute, because as you've seen previously, I got this little adapter to fill it with air. Well, yeah, the little adapter you fill with air, sure, it screws in there, but what it doesn't do is, let me loosen this other side back up. It doesn't make contact with the Schrader valve at the bottom. And you know, I broke down, and because I did order them, and looked at a couple of videos, and everybody's like, "Oh yeah, you just need this valve." And get that screwed in there. Why is it going in there crooked? It don't feel right at all. They don't make any mention of it not filling with air. Why is this not screwing in here? I may have to take that back off and make sure that that's not tweaked a little bit. Anyway, so yeah, here's the fitting. You know, I showed it to you prior. The problem is this part here doesn't go down far enough, and it doesn't make contact with the Schrader valve at the bottom. So you can screw this thing in all day long, and I'm sorry, but I disagree that the air pressure alone is going to be enough to push that thing down, because I was not getting any kind of reading like that with my pressure gauge right here that hooks up to my air hose. So what I ended up doing is, I think this is an M2 or an M3 screw. You see how long? Let's see if I can put that in there. You can see how long that is. And I put that in there with the little button head right there, down, pushing down on the Schrader valve as you screwed this in. You know, that way this fits right over the hole, and it leaves a little bit of a gap on around the sides, and this will push down. So as you hook your air hose up and it's depressing this side of the Schrader valve, it's pushing down this one to push down the bottom one. And that seemed to work. I had to fiddle fart around with it, but I got, according to my pressure gauge, 140 psi into it. So we are going to test and see if 140 psi is enough. And let me tell you something right now. That's sketchy. I don't care what anybody says. That's a bit sketchy, filling this little cylinder with 140 pounds of air while you're standing there and your body is right in front of it. Why? I'm going to try screwing this in from the other side. It doesn't screw in from this side. It screws in from the other side, but something, this is not screwing in. So anyway, needless to say, no video. I watched a couple, 2, 3. You know, nobody makes mention of that. You know, they're like, oh yeah, you just screw this thing in here and it works fine. Well, no, it did not work fine. Well, it didn't work fine for me. And that's the only one that I've seen that fits for that. I don't know. I'm no Milwaukee hand tool specialist. Anyway, I'm just trying to. I think this thing's got a little bit of a stripped thread on it. I may have to run this through a die. Yeah, crap. Okay, let me. We'll pause here for a sec. I'm going to just clean these threads up. Be right back. Alright, that is resolved. That was an M5. I could have swore that die said 0.8. But anyway, alright, so let's put some nails in this thing. I did get the nails, and I got a battery. Okay, so we got nails loaded. Gotta put a battery in it. And turn it on, press and hold. The little T, the little 1 is lit up. I don't know what the 1 and the 3 mean. I guess I need to Google that. And we got 2 pieces of wood right here. Push it down, and I would say that works. It kind of went down in the inside there. Boy, that really puts a nail down in there. So I guess you turn it this way to make it sit more flush. That's pretty flush, maybe a little bit more. Okay, let's turn this off so I don't shoot myself. And you will see, there are the nails. Okay, so, and guess what? Since I told my buddy, Joe, I'd work on that one, I got another one I gotta fix. Somebody else. So anyway, so it works. And 140 pounds does work. And like I said, I will put in the description. Here is this part. But maybe I'll put that in the description. I don't know. It does screw in there. You know, I ain't got a problem with that. Oh, I got to remember I got to put all these other screws in the back, other side, this side. But it doesn't make contact. And, you know, honestly, I dorked with it for a little bit. It's like, I'm not getting no air into this thing. So that's what I did. You know, just take it, and you can, when you have this side cover off, you can tip your gun up, you know, and you have your, oh, like that there, Miss Daisy. You can turn your tank out a little bit, and this will sit right down in the hole, and it'll center. And then screw that in. I did put a little bit of tape on it, pipe thread, and it will, once you hook your air hose up to it, then it'll fill. So, like I said, I watched it. I sat here for a while, and it took a while to get to 140 pounds. And that's about as high as it would go, and it started dropping back a little bit, so I plucked it off. But as you can see, it works just fine. So, yeah, I think that's an M2, M3, I've got these for RC cars and stuff. It's a Hitachi, whatever. A little M set, and it comes in handy for other stuff too, not just RC cars. But I think, if I'm looking at these right, it was an M3. Sorry, M3 by 12 millimeter. So there we go, guys. That's how you fix a framing nailer. I did power that one up, and it did fire a nail once, and it sank it. I mean, we'll take the battery out since I got it here and see what it does. Again, Daisy, you are going to have to get out of my way. I done fed you. The cat is a glutton. And this one could have another issue. Okay, so we got power. It does have a couple of nails in it. So you pull the trigger and nothing. So that could be air, or it could be that this safety is not engaging. I don't know. But we're going to take this apart and see. Not in this video. I just wanted to show you guys. I mean, they're the exact same nail guns. So I'm going to wrap this up. That's how you fix that gun. Said I'll put that part in the description, or the link on the Amazon site. And that's pretty much all there is to it. Pretty straightforward. I know the guns are, I think, brand new. These things are like 350 bucks. And I forget what Milwaukee charges, 100 to 200 bucks, you know, I guess plus shipping and stuff. So it's really easy to do. And this part here was like $9 for two of them. So there you have it. Hope you guys got something out of it. Hope it benefits everybody. And catch you guys on the next video. See you around.